effective advertising on a budget and do what we like to, or to avoid what we call badvertising or marketing malpractice. We want to eradicate that, and the 4 keys to advertising success will do that. Now, before we get into the 4 keys of advertising success, it's important to discuss a little bit about what advertising cannot do. Now, advertising, it cannot create an instant customer base. It cannot solve immediate, sharp increases in sales. That's not going to happen with advertising. It takes time to do that. We'll talk more about that. It cannot solve immediate cash flow problems, and it is not a substitute for poor or indifferent customer service. And of course, advertising cannot sell useless or unwanted items. That information all comes to us from the U.S. Small Business Administration. And when you learn about the 4 keys to advertising success, you'll see how you can bring back your old customers, increase your repeat business, and will help you find new customers with the 4 keys to advertising success. Now, the first key to advertising success, we'll get to in just a second, but first the research that we did. The research project included 500 local business owners. We asked them 50 questions. And the first was, are you satisfied with your advertising efforts or not? And then we separated those folks that were satisfied out from the folks that were not satisfied, and we started questioning and trying to figure out what makes people satisfied with advertising, what makes people dissatisfied. We started teaching the best practices to those folks who were unsatisfied, and over the course of a year, we converted most of the 500 business owners into satisfied advertising customers. And today, over 10,000 businesses across the United States use the 4 keys to advertising success to buy and purchase advertising. Now, key number 1 to the 4 keys to advertising success is consistency. Now, this is a hard one because you'll want to see immediate results a lot of times when you do advertise. But if you are consistent, you can see measurable long-term results with an ongoing basis of advertising. Now, if you think consistency means that you have to spend a lot of money, don't, because most of the unsatisfied folks in our study, they had lots of money, but what they did not have was patience. They would try one idea for a month or 2, and then they'd try another idea for another month or 2, and both were great ideas. The problem was this month or 2 here, month or 2 there problem. So consistency is a key to advertising, and most satisfied businesses in the research had modest budgets, so it is definitely not about how much you spend. It's much more about how long you spend and what you decide you can spend for month after month after month. As you learn more about the psychology of consumer behavior, you'll quickly understand that price is not always the determining factor in people coming to your business. If price were the only consideration, there's lots of businesses that would not be in business. For example, Rolex. Those guys, their lowest watch starts at $6,000. Now, to be a Swiss watch, it can only gain 6 seconds per day, and it can lose 4 seconds a day. So plus or minus 10 seconds every day on a Rolex watch to be certified Swiss, $6,000. It's got rubies, it's got diamonds, and people do not buy that for price. If they were looking for price, they could get that Timex that you see on the PowerPoint next to us for $75. It's got quartz technology. It's accurate to within 1/10 of a second every day. So the $75 watch is certainly more cost effective than the $6,000 watch, but both be great sales. So understanding that price is not the only consideration is key. The same story is true with the iPhone 6. Now, the iPhone 6 is not the best telephone out there. It has a 4.7-inch screen versus the Galaxy X6. It's got a 5.1-inch screen. The Galaxy X6 has more pixels in the camera. It has more RAM. Altogether, a better phone at a lower price, but yet people day after day use iPhone, not because of the technology, but because iPhone is a company that markets the consumer use, how you feel when you use the product, rather than the product itself. So Again, Apple being that first company to market technology in a personal way allows them to charge more but offer a great user experience versus other brands. The same is true with Target. Target sells the exact same products as Walmart, but they charge a little bit more. As you can see there, a few cents here and there on all of these different products. But when you ask a Target consumer why they don't just go down the street to Walmart, they always say it's the way it makes them feel when they go to Target. So Target, again, proof that you can charge more for the exact same product as long as you make the customer feel good when they're shopping with you. Now, it's important to understand the psychology of consumer behavior and why people buy. And we like to call this the triggering event. Business owners who understand the psychology of consumer behavior understand the triggering event, and people buy when they have that triggering event in their life. Now, something happens in their life that creates a need or a desire for a product. That's what we call the trigger. It happens on the consumer's timetable, and no amount of advertising can ever speed that process up. Research does show us, though, that 86% of consumers are likely or very likely to shop with the first company that comes to mind or a brand name that makes them feel good. So the goal of successful advertising is to be known before you are needed. And the 4 keys to advertising success will help you in doing that. Now, the second key to advertising success, that's reach. Now, advertising, all advertising, no matter what form of advertising you do, it offers reach at varying rates. Now, reach is the number of different people that will be exposed to your advertising. Just to be honest with you, money drives reach. The more you spend, the more audience you reach. That's a pretty simple concept. But if you have a modest amount of money, you'll have modest amounts of reach week after week.